Alright, so this is going to be the first video that I do for my series of book reviews. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of an introduction, I am a writer, and it's something that I've been doing for, I think, about 5 years now, maybe 6, and I've always been into writing poems when I was younger. It was kind of my outlet to be romantic with girlfriends, and at one point, I was actually about 12, I started getting interested in writing, and I also started getting interested in reading much larger books. Obviously I started off with small ones, something like Wishbone. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that series. It was actually a TV show. Goosebumps, that sort of thing. And basically it transformed into reading books such as Harry Potter, that series. My uncle, who recently passed, actually was one who got me into that. He basically bought the first book and said to me, when you finish this book, I'm going to give you money. And it was his way of tricking me into reading the books. And I don't know if I paid for the second one or the third one, but eventually it got to the point where he would give me enough money, exactly enough money, maybe a little bit more, don't remember, to buy the next book. So he got me hooked on the series, and then it just, that was it, right? So shout out to him. That was that was genius. So fast forward to, fast forward to now, obviously, but what led up to it was him doing that, me writing this story when I was 12 years old and not really doing it well. And about 6 years prior to now, I went back and revisited that story, and it ended up being like 125,000 words manuscript, and again, I just started taking off. And when he was diagnosed with cancer, my uncle, I wanted to get a book published so that I could show him, like, hey, this is me, this is what you helped, this is what you loved and nurtured from from a baby. This is the man that I've become. I've become this amazing writer, and I didn't get that opportunity. And so it's tough, because it's something just like with a sport or anything else that you want to get good at, and you want to be good at it, so you need to practice. Now, I haven't always been writing or reading or editing, but the thing is, when you're interested in, well, for myself, it's sci-fi and fantasy, you need to be reading those types of books. Now, for myself, I have a collection of books right now that I've purchased. I have 6 at the moment, and half of them are read. I'm on number 4, and this is my batch that I'm working on right now, which is what I'm going to be reviewing. But this video is basically an introduction to that. So you have to read, you have to write, and you have to edit. You have to do all these things as a writer, unless of course you're able to hire an editor. So for me, all my writing, all my manuscripts are a product of what my uncle started and what the books thereafter kind of helped nourish. Now, aside from Harry Potter, I have read some other series. I have read, the Hobbit, and a collection of other books that are sci-fi related, fantasy, suspense, and I've also written many different manuscripts and stories as well, so which are some are available online, not all of them. And so this is that introduction to me on my editing side, which basically it's me showing you what I'm reading, whether I recommend a book. I'm going to critique them a little bit, and so that's going to show you the whole process of me being a writer. This is what I'm using to kind of, you know, learn how other people do it, and maybe see if I'm not doing things, you know, efficiently or something, you know, with how things are written, how stories start, how they end, that type of thing, right? So it's all part of the process. So the reading, so you're going to see my collection of books. The writing, you guys can experience yourselves. You can find it online. I'll post the links. And the editing is the ability to read someone else's story and pick out the mistakes or what you think is mistakes and help you develop your own writing. And that's what I'm doing by editing these books. So I do have a couple of books here. I'm going to try to review all of them in quick succession, and we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to give my recommendations, just a little bit of feedback, constructive criticism, and this is the new series. You know, I'm going to start doing more things involving my own writing. I might even do some Q&A stuff, you know, sessions like that, and I might even do some live stuff if I can figure that out, probably on my phone, for anyone who ends up being interested in any of my stories, or if I'm working on projects and you guys want to ask me questions, or you know, about my own writing, or anything else. You know, if there's a book that I review and you guys want more information about it, like you didn't elaborate enough or whatever, then you know you can ask me questions about that as well. So this is just the introduction, and eventually I'm going to be reviewing books that I'm reading. So this isn't something that is going to happen often, but let's say maybe once every month or two, because I do take my time with reading. I read before I go to bed. Helps me relax, helps me go to sleep. So this is the beginning of something new. It's a new venture, and I hope you guys enjoy it.